This is the St. Peter's Square, also known as Piazza San Pietro, is a large public square located in Vatican City, the smallest independent state in the world, which is located within Rome, Italy. The square is named after St. Peter, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus and the first bishop of Rome. Designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini in the 17th century, the square is a massive elliptical space that stretches over 320 meters in length and 240 meters in width. It is surrounded by two colonnades that are made up of 4 rows of columns, totaling 284 in number. The colonnades represent the embracing arms of the Catholic Church, symbolizing its inclusiveness and welcoming nature. At the center of the square stands an ancient Egyptian obelisk that was brought to Rome in 37 AD. It was erected in the square in 1586 by Pope Sixtus V and is flanked by 2 fountains designed by Carlo Maderno. The obelisk stands as a symbol of the Christian faith's triumph over paganism. St. Peter's Square is a popular gathering place for visitors to Vatican City and is often filled with tourists and pilgrims who come to see the square's impressive architecture and to attend public events and celebrations held there. It is also the location where the Pope delivers his weekly address to the faithful, known as the Angelus or Regina Coeli, from the balcony of the Apostolic Palace overlooking the square. The fountains of St. Peter's Square are a pair of beautiful fountains located in the famous square in front of St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, Rome. They were designed by 2 different artists and are known as the Bernini Fountain and the Maderno Fountain. The Bernini Fountain, also called the Fontana della Madre Ecclesia, was designed by the famous Italian sculptor Gian Lorenzo Bernini and completed in 1677. It is located at the center of the square and features a large basin supported by 4 stone dolphins, with an obelisk rising from the center. The obelisk was originally brought to Rome from Egypt in ancient times and was later moved to its current location in the center of St. Peter's Square. The Maderno Fountain, also called the Fontana del Nettuno, was designed by Carlo Maderno and his nephew Francesco in the early 17th century. It is located at the southern end of the square and features a statue of Neptune, the Roman god of the sea, surrounded by 4 tritons and other sea creatures. The fountain is known for its intricate details and intricate design. Both fountains are considered masterpieces of Baroque art and are a popular attraction for visitors to St. Peter's Square. The fountains also play an important role in the history and symbolism of the Catholic Church, as they represent the 2 great rivers of Rome, the Tiber and the Nile, and are believed to symbolize the spiritual and temporal power of the Church. You are now walking inside the St. Peter's Basilica. This is a large Catholic church located in Vatican City, an independent city-state within Rome, Italy. This is one of the most significant and holiest sites in Christianity, as this is believed to be built over the burial site of St. Peter, one of Jesus Christ's apostles and the first pope. The basilica is a renowned example of Renaissance architecture and is considered one of the largest churches in the world. The current St. Peter's Basilica was completed in 1626, replacing the old St. Peter's Basilica, which dated back to the 4th century. The construction of the new basilica spanned over 120 years, with contributions from several prominent architects, including Donato Bramante, Michelangelo, and Gian Lorenzo Bernini. The basilica's exterior is characterized by its massive dome, which was designed by Michelangelo, and is one of the most recognizable features of the Roman skyline. The facade, designed by Carlo Maderno, is adorned with statues of Christ, John the Baptist, and the Apostles, and features a central balcony from which the Pope delivers his blessings. Inside, St. Peter's Basilica is richly decorated with marble, gold, and numerous works of art, including Michelangelo's Pieta, a sculpture depicting the Virgin Mary holding the body of Jesus after his crucifixion. The basilica also houses the tombs of several popes, including St. Peter himself, whose tomb is located beneath the high altar. St. Peter's Basilica is not only a place of worship, but also a major tourist attraction, drawing millions of visitors each year. It is an essential destination for pilgrims and art enthusiasts alike, who come to admire its architectural grandeur and the masterpieces it contains. This is the Pinecone Courtyard, also known as the Cortile della Pigna in Italian, is a beautiful outdoor courtyard located within the Vatican Museums in Vatican City, Rome. It is named after the enormous bronze Pinecone statue that stands at its center, which is said to have once decorated the top of a fountain in ancient Rome. The courtyard is surrounded on three sides by galleries that house various collections of art and artifacts, including the Gallery of the Candelabra, the Gallery of Tapestries, and the Gallery of Maps. The fourth side of the courtyard is open and offers views of the Vatican Gardens and the dome of St. Peter's Basilica in the distance. The Pinecone Courtyard was originally designed in the early 16th century by the architect Donato Bramante, who was commissioned by Pope Julius II to create a new entrance to the Vatican Palace. Over the centuries, subsequent popes continued to add to and embellish the courtyard, adding statues, fountains, and other decorative elements. Today, the Pinecone Courtyard is a popular spot for visitors to the Vatican Museums, who come to admire the beauty of its architecture and decorations. The courtyard's peaceful atmosphere, combined with its stunning Renaissance-era sculptures and frescoes, make it a perfect place to pause and reflect amid the hustle and bustle of the museum.
כל אמן יש לו את הזוגות שלו, את הצמדים של הציורים שלו, והוא מסביר בהרחבה בדיוק על מה הוא חושב ולמה זה מתאר את זה ככה. בעצם אנחנו אפילו משנים טיפונת את ההיסטוריה. בואו נלך לצדדים.
Knowing that Michelangelo knew from drawings and Figura, and show him first of all how to make the paint, because there's no Walmart, you don't buy it, you have to make it.
Smile, turn around, Ann. Sisi, meine Chaka Khamina is 7.
Mid-16th century, the Last Judgment depicts the second coming of Christ and the final judgment of all humanity. The Vatican Museums are a collection of art and archaeological museums located within the Vatican City in Rome, Italy. They are considered one of the world's greatest museums, containing an extensive collection of artwork and artifacts spanning over 2,000 years of human history. The museums were founded in the early 16th century by Pope Julius II, who began collecting art and antiquities to display in the Vatican Palace. Over the centuries, subsequent popes continued to add to the collections, and today the museums contain over 70,000 works of art. Among the most famous and impressive parts of the Vatican Museums is the Sistine Chapel, home to Michelangelo's iconic frescoes. Other notable parts of the museum include the Raphael Rooms, a series of 4 interconnected rooms decorated with frescoes by the Renaissance artist Raphael, the Gallery of Maps, which contains a series of 16th-century maps of Italy painted on the walls and ceiling, and the Egyptian Museum, which houses a collection of ancient Egyptian artifacts. The Vatican Museums also contain an impressive collection of classical sculptures, including famous works such as the Laocoon and the Apollo Belvedere, as well as numerous examples of medieval and Renaissance art, tapestries, and religious artifacts. Given the vast size of the museum, visitors are recommended to plan their visit carefully to ensure they have time to see the highlights. The Vatican Museums are a must-see destination for art lovers, history buffs, and anyone interested in the rich cultural and religious heritage of the Catholic Church.
because tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, including Monday, is holiday. You have to book the pastor. You are not allowed to enter the church. Ask the concierge. Guarda. You have to book it for Saturday. Ask the concierge. But look the dog.
This is the golden ceiling fresco of the Sistine Chapel, one of the most famous works of art in the world, painted by the Italian Renaissance master Michelangelo. The fresco covers the entire ceiling of the chapel, which is located within the Vatican City in Rome, Italy. The fresco is composed of a series of 9 panels, each depicting scenes from the book of Genesis, beginning with the creation of the world and ending with the drunkenness of Noah. The central panel, known as the creation of Adam, is perhaps the most well-known of the series, depicting the moment when God gives life to Adam with a touch of his finger. The fresco is renowned for its stunning beauty and technical mastery. Michelangelo painted the fresco between 1508 and 1512, working on his back high up on scaffolding, and created the illusion of three-dimensional space using perspective and foreshortening. He also employed a technique known as non finito, which involved deliberately leaving some parts of the fresco unfinished in order to create the illusion of depth and movement. One of the most striking features of the fresco is its use of gold leaf to highlight certain elements of the composition, such as the figures of God and the angels. This use of gold gives the fresco a luminous quality and adds to its sense of grandeur and majesty. Today, the golden ceiling fresco at the Sistine Chapel remains one of the most iconic and beloved works of art in the world, attracting millions of visitors each year who come to marvel at its beauty and to experience the sense of awe and wonder that it inspires. The Sistine Chapel is a world-famous chapel located within the Apostolic Palace in Vatican City, Rome. It was built in the late 15th century under the patronage of Pope Sixtus IV, who commissioned its construction and decoration. The Sistine Chapel is best known for its elaborate ceiling frescoes, which were painted by the renowned Italian artist Michelangelo between 1508 and 1512. The ceiling frescoes depict scenes from the Book of Genesis, including the creation of Adam and the Great Flood, among others. The paintings are considered to be some of the greatest examples of Renaissance art, and are admired for their skillful composition, technical precision, and stunning beauty. In addition to the ceiling frescoes, the walls of the Sistine Chapel are also adorned with magnificent frescoes by other artists, such as Sandro Botticelli, Pietro Perugino, and Domenico Ghirlandaio. These works depict scenes from the life of Moses and the life of Christ. The Sistine Chapel is also the site of the conclave, the gathering of cardinals who elect a new pope. During a conclave, the chapel is closed to visitors, and the cardinals gather under the gaze of Michelangelo's Last Judgment, a monumental fresco that covers the entire wall behind the altar. Painted by Michelangelo in the mid-16th century, the Last Judgment depicts the second coming of Christ, and the final judgment of all humanity. The Sistine Chapel is considered one of the greatest treasures of the Catholic Church, and is visited by millions of tourists every year. Its exquisite frescoes, rich history, and profound spiritual significance make it a must-see destination for art lovers, history buffs, and religious pilgrims alike.